Trainers, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to go ahead and go over my progress in the champions meeting, my very first one. It was a lot more difficult than I expected, but from what I've heard, the rated league is actually easier than the open league. Let me know down in the comments before if you joined the open league and are struggling in that, because from what I've heard, the open league has like the most insane min-maxers in the game, and that the rated league is actually a bit easier. So we're gonna go ahead and go over my champions meeting Umas that I used. I have actually advanced already to the Group B final round, which is very, very good. I'm so glad that I was able to make it there, because now if we go to our rewards, we scroll on down. At the bare minimum, we're going to be getting 500 carrots, which is very nice. I'm so happy that I'm going to be getting that. And if we were to have stayed in the open league and made it to that same exact round in Group B, we would only be getting 500 anyway. So as you see, we're going to be getting the same as first place in the open league. So very, very nice. If we were in Group A, we would get 750 on the open league. So only 250 more for a much more difficult time from what it sounds like to me. So hopefully you guys all listened to me and joined the graded league and are able to make it into round 2. Now, some little tips if you're struggling in the graded league. I recommend waiting till around midnight to like 1 a.m. your time if you can to do the races, because from what I've seen, if you wait and do it exactly on reset time, which is at 12 UTC, that's when all of the whales are playing the game, and you're going to get crushed. If you wait until like midnight, all of the tryhard whales that do this immediately on reset have already done their runs, so it's safe. All of the whales have eaten each other, and you can come out and have some fun in the pool. But yes, do please wait until like all of those whales have fought each other to the death, and then we can play in our own little corner. I found that helped a lot. I was watching some people in Group A do the races in the first hour, and it was insane. And then if you waited until midnight and did it, oh my god, you were getting like the most freest wins ever. Of course, I did all my races like right after the first hour, so I fought all the hard guys too and got destroyed. But that is a good tip. Now let's go ahead and go over my runners that I used, right? So my carry for this event was actually Special Week. I've only done a few races with her, as you see, 5 races, but that was all it needed. We got 2 wins, and you might be thinking, don't you need at least 3 to advance? Well, my other carry here was actually my Tokai Teo. She got my other win right here. Now let's go ahead and go over those 2 Umas specifically, since those were the ones that were able to get me my wins. Now, my Tokai Teo, as you see, is not the best Tokai Teo. It's got 1200 speed, that's pretty nice, but that stamina is definitely too low. So the only reason why I was able to even win a single race here is because I did what I said, and I waited until midnight, where the people were a little bit easier. And guess what? There was no nice natures destroying my stamina, and that helped a ton. Now, if we look at our skills, we got some decent skills. We have Behold, Thine Emperor's Divine Might, Certain Victory, Redshift. Redshift also hugely, hugely important for this event. Make sure, if you haven't done that, make an ace with Redshift on. The way that you do that is get a Maruzensky parent or grandparent, and you'll be able to inherit this skill. It makes it so much easier, guys. The skill is super strong for this event. Now, we also have Swinging Maestro, very important for the stamina recovery. Race Planner, specifically because my stamina is so low, I made sure to grab 3 stamina recovery skills. If you got like 800 stamina, you don't need 3. But since my stamina was so low, I was praying for these to proc to survive. Otherwise, I would just die. And as you see, I got lucky. They procced. I didn't have any nice natures glaring at me and killing me. So we were able to survive. Now, the one that was actually pretty decent is my Spec Chan right here. As you see, almost 1200 speed, a good amount of stamina, maybe a tiny bit too much. If I would have transferred like a little bit more into the speed, that would have been nice. And unfortunately, I didn't get any medium S's. Now you might be thinking like, shouldn't you be getting medium S's? Yes, you definitely should be getting medium S's. For those of you who don't know what medium S's do, medium S's give you an extra 10% to your stats up top. So if you've got 1200 speed, it'll give you an extra 10% speed on top of that 1200 speed, which makes you so much higher chance of winning the race because of those extra stats. Now, the skills that we have for this is Shooting Star level 4. We have Redshift, again, very important skill. Firm Conditions with Power. not the most important thing, but I didn't really have too many other skills that are better. We have Professor of Curvature and Swinging Maestro. We have Straightaway Adept and Acceleration. And then we have Steadfast. Steadfast I thought was pretty decent because it fights back when passed by another runner. It's not the best skill, but I didn't really have any other options. That's why I took Firm Conditions. So as you see, this isn't not the most greatest special week that you've ever seen in your life, but it works. And honestly, the reason why it worked so well, in my opinion, is the redshift. Whenever the redshift procced into a shooting star proc, I pretty much like took off and they could not stop me after that. So that's a very easy way to do it. And as you see for the cards that I used, I didn't really use any max limit, or I did use some max limit broken ones, but all of my cards aren't max limit broken. So this is a very, very doable thing. As you see, this level 30 card right here, not a fully maxed out Satano Diamond right here. So you guys can also easily replicate this. If you need to, you can swap out this SSR for an SR and it would still work just as well. But I don't really have too many SR cards maxed out either, unfortunately. So I found that this worked pretty nicely. Now, some tips and tricks for you guys to help make your runs even better. I found that a very good way to do it is pay attention to the Umas that you lost to and try to look at their skills. And also, there's some very specific skills that are very good on this track, which is specifically medium tier skills because you're trying to do a medium race. Now, there's a couple ways that you guys can go about learning what skills are good and how to get those skills. And we're going to go over those real quickly right now. So the way that I liked to do it was, like I said, to look at the current Umas that are defeating me and see like what skills do they have. Another way to do it in game, if you don't want to Google it and try to figure it out online, you can go to races. Once it loads, we can go to races, we can go to team trials, and then we can go hit the little I button right here and click all. And now this shows all of the top ranked PvPers. Now do keep in mind that these PvP Umas are not designed for the Champions Meet. They're designed for team races. So the skills aren't going to be perfect, but they're going to be still pretty decent. Now we can go ahead and click this very first guy and we'll go ahead and go to our medium stuff right here. Now, I was planning on making like a pace chaser type racehorse, so I don't really care about the gold sheet since I'm not going to work on a gold sheet. But I would click something like this and I would see, okay, what kind of skills is this person using over here? They're using Professor of Curvature. I'm using that one. Swinging Maestro. I'm also using that one. Very good. We're using Focus. Focus isn't as good in Champions Meeting. This is specifically a team trials skill, so I'll not worry about that one. And we got Straightaway Acceleration, and we got Medium Corners, and we got Home Stretch Haste. So I'm just looking at all of the skills and being like, okay, keep in mind, these are some good skills. Now we'll go on to the other ones and see which ones are similar between those ones, right? We have Medium Corners on this one as well, Medium Straightaways, Professor as well, Gourmand. So this gives you an idea of what skills are good and worth taking because a top-ranked PvPer is taking this. Now, you don't have to go onto this. You could go on to like a guide video and try to look at them from there. But now you're telling yourself, okay, now I know what skills are good. How am I going to actually get those skills? Well, what you want to do is actually go to Game Torah and go to Uma Musume skills. Just simply Google Game Torah Uma Musume skills, and then it will load up this website right here. Now, this website is very helpful. It helps with so many different things. So we're going to go over here. Actually, does it go to global if I change it to global? It does. So make sure you do that. Change it to global so that way it specifically is in English. So then we'll go ahead and type in medium right here. And then as you see, boom, it shows the medium skills. Now we actually have a way to figure out where to get these skills from. So if I want to get medium corners, which as you see increases velocity on a corner, very important, we'll hit more. And then it will show you all of the ways that you can obtain this skill in the global version. So as you see, Agnes Tachyon can actually inherit this skill and then teach it to your other Umas, which means Agnes Tachyon will be a very, very good parent for this event. Let's go ahead and show you that in the game. So we'll go back over here. We'll go to Enhance. We'll go to Trainee, Potential Levels. And then we'll go to Agnes Tachyon right here. And as you see, bam, there it is. Medium straightaways, medium corners, a very, very good Uma for mediums. Now, you might be like me and out of gold And you might be like, okay, well, I can't do an Agnes Tachyon. Is there any other options for me? Yes, there is. We're going to go back to the website, and we will go ahead and go back to medium straightaways, and we'll see, well, not only can we get it from this character, we can get it from Major Orion, or we can get it from Narita Bryan. Now, again, if you don't have any gold, any way to level up potential levels, don't worry. We can also get it through support hints. So if you have vodka, you can use vodka. If you got El Condor Pasta, you can use this support. Or if you don't have any of those, you definitely have some SR cards. So you could throw this card in, this card in, this card in. There's a bunch of different options. Out of these four, I'd recommend Agnes Tachyon for sure. This is a decent SR card that you guys can throw in there. I'm sure you guys have that highly limit broken by now. And then we can go ahead and check medium corners as you see. Agnes Tachyon also has medium corners, which makes her a 2-for-1, makes her a very good choice to be using for any medium racetrack because she's got both medium corners and medium straightaways as a support card. So you can throw that on to whatever ace Uma that you want. And you can pretty much use that for all of the ones. So in the future Chami that's coming up, we're going to have long. So maybe we're going to want long corners and long straightaways. That's another good way to do it. We can look at it real fast and see long corners. We get that from Kitasan Black. Perfect. We're already going to be using that. And we got long straightaways. We got that from this one right here, Manhattan Cafe SR. Unfortunately, I don't have that maxed out, so that's a little bit unfortunate for me. But if you got that maxed out, maybe that's something you want to use for the upcoming Champions meeting. And that's pretty much all I did, guys. That's the way that I ended up fixing my account real quickly and was able to make it to the final round in only a couple days, really. I didn't grind for very long, this account. Like I said, it's pretty new. As you see, I only have a few gold horses right here, so they're not really too insane. My special weeks, only potential level 3-star, so very, very basic things right here. So you all can easily make this special week. And if you guys are looking for a max limit broken Kitasan Black, you guys can go ahead and add me right here. Feel free to use me in your runs. That's my ID right there. Go ahead and throw me a follow, and you guys can get to work. Hopefully getting yourself a good Maruzensky parent. Unfortunately, I don't have a Maruzensky parent, so you're going to have to find one of those. The way that you're going to probably find one of those is going, again, to team trials, and then just hoping that you guys can find one like this. You hit all, and then scroll on down until you find, hopefully someone has it as their lead over here on the side as their picture right here. Maybe this guy has it. Maybe Auntie's got it right here. You can click I, and then unfortunately he's fully followed. So that's going to be the way that you're going to have to do it. Unfortunately, just go through this list and try to find a good Maruzensky parent if you don't have that. Or you could go to the Uma Musume database, look up Maruzensky, and try to find one that way. But it's going to be a little bit difficult. Sometimes even just looking in your current class is actually a little bit better because there's not going to be as many people following them. But even this guy's got maximum followers. So unfortunately, Maruzensky's in high demand, so it's kind of hard to find one that's not max followed right now. But I believe in you guys. You guys can find one. Hopefully, maybe the Discord or something has one. Anyways, that's all I've got for you guys. Hopefully, you guys were able to make it to the final round of Group B or A as well. And good luck in your final races. I'll see you guys in the next one.